I'm starting to understand it now. She happens to be kissed by the storm, but she is not necessarily one of the ones that are of respect in her house. She's just fortunate enough to have been of the right bloodline.
Okay. Denise has a problem.
I agree.
I'm trying to help, kind
You
of.
all have problems.
All right, well, so you did this investigation. You found out this Dusk people blew up some hobgoblins, impersonated the house, and you took care of it. Congratulations on that one. You found some more plot stuff from a similar source that said this is going on here, and so you came chasing it to this end. Well, I have to say that if you are concerned about what's going on here, you're going to have to head back to the house and find out for yourself. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell you this is a dead end.
So you're not okay with us looking for changelings amongst you?
Looking for changelings amongst us?
Yes.
Every single solitary one of these soldiers is vetted. How about this? I will go as far as to do this for you. You give me orders that say you're welcome to search this keep for changelings, and I'll let you search for them.
We'll be back with orders then.
I was going to go one step further.
Okay.
You don't have to leave. You can send word. That's disgusting looking elf over there. It's a wizard, isn't it?
Oh,
That's fucking rude.
I'm like, yeah, I'm taken back by the fact that he said disgusting looking elf, but then like,
And
he said he's bruised and looking very badly.
He's also been meditating this whole time, aside from sassing you out, so
Right.
he
like,
looks
it's
even
like,
grosser.
Like I let out like a light sigh, like disapproving of the way he said it, but I will say he is indeed a wizard.
Does he have the magics to allow you to speak across long distances?
I don't believe so. And then I'll look towards Stalbor and say, Stalbor, and see if he comes out of his meditation.
If he's more precise about what he asks, maybe I'll consider thinking about it.
I look back at him.
I say to you, in the interests of expediting things, do you have the ability to cast a spell that will let us communicate with Denise home base?
I can't cast a spell that far, no. But if you get me a...
I look back at them. It appears that is not an option.
Well, I only offered that because I had a feeling that you would trust it a little bit more. You're of course welcome to send a pigeon or word the old-fashioned way. But I figured you'd be a little bit more willing to believe messages, since there does seem to be a conspiracy theorist amongst you.
There are conspiracies.
We were just informed of these conspiracies when we were outside the walls.
That's not true. That's not true.
I will say we do have means to send a message encrypted.
Whatever it is that you'd like to do, please.
Now
you're welcome to come with me, Luka.
I'll nod and say, if you're being so kind as to let us stay here, will these be our quarters? And I'll kind of look disgustedly at the jail cells.
If you choose to stay here, these will be.
I'll nod to that, still with that bit of a disgusted look on my face, and I will follow. Does he say anything?
Nope. He walks out with you after the door is shut and whatnot. He does say, you know, if you're willing to be a little bit more useful than a lump in a cell, I could have you in an actual room.
Be useful how?
You could work the wall.
I'd be willing to do so. I'd be willing to help my house, of course, but you'll have to refresh me with how exactly you'd want me to do that, because if I had noticed a marked member of the house show up, I wouldn't have been so rude as that one soldier was. I might have had the same results, but it wouldn't have been so rude to start.
we have a pretty strict code here. If it's not an order, it's not done. You came here without orders. He actually got a lashing for what he had done.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. I will gladly work the wall.
Good, because you'll be working under him.
I take a deep breath and say, okay.
Okay. So, you're led over to where they have like a bit of a coop with a whole bunch of pigeons and whatnot inside there. And you can tell which ones are so things are kind of marked or whatnot. There's a person, there's like the coop master that's over there and takes care of these things and looks over it. That it kind of directs you into, where is it you're looking to send the message to? And I assume, do you want to send it all the way to like Korth, or?
There is something I would have tried to yell at Luka before I left. I would say, Nico is in Sharn, and he owes me a favor.
Yeah, I probably actually, as much as it's helped, I would have probably... that's the only issue with that, though, is I would have sent probably to Nico, maybe even 2 messages. One to Nico, one to the house I'm most familiar with, just like reaching out.
Who gets to Nico way sooner just because of the geometry.
How long would that be? Not 10 days, right?
In this show, messages fly realistically through the air.
Yeah, this is a Game of Thrones where it's like, oh, hey, why don't we spend a day and a half to have somebody run across the Icelands, send a raven, and then a dragon fly. Day and a half. No problem. All good.
Yeah, so... Yep. Gonna be fun. Star Wars gonna end up like Kieran by the end of this.
What?
Star Wars gonna end up like Kieran by the end of this. It's gonna be pissed.
So no, I can't do that. Yeah, I would write letters to both informing them of the situation we're in, and informing them of what we were looking into per se, and ask for the permission to do so, to see exactly where these orders were coming from, and like who's in charge of them, like who's giving them their orders, as well as to look into the people who are here.
Oh man, so 500 miles as the crow flies to Sharn, God, let's say Reckenmark, which is where your family is. I can't even measure it. It's like 4,000 miles.
What's the average speed of a pigeon?
It doesn't have to be Reckenmark. I was saying the house in Sharn that I dealt with for the terrorists.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't mind going through them?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going through them because they, like, honestly, they might not be who I'm most familiar with, but they're the most I'm familiar with when it comes to what I'm doing for the house. You know what I mean? I didn't do too much for the house prior to that.
Okay.
Just so you know, Scott, racing pigeons can fly up to 90 miles per hour, and they can fly over 700 miles in a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I was gonna say, but how much in a day?
Yeah. That's a racing pigeon. Do they have racing pigeons sitting around?
Yeah.
Well, no. It says homing pigeons.
In Dryam, every pigeon better be a racing pigeon or it'll die.
Homing pigeons have been known to fly 700 miles in a day. Homing pigeons.
Oh shit.
Yeah. All right.
Game of Thrones is real. Tell your friends.
They use crows. It's different.
Homing ravens.
Ravens, that's right.
It's a raven, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways.
The raven.
Okay, so if
so
you
wait,
send
how
this
long would it
message
take?
out, you would expect to hear back in 3-4 days tops.
Okay. Well, then I would send it out, casting a spell on it, of course.
What spell?
Bah!
I hope you steal some of the ink from the bloody fortress to do it.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Do I not have the ink for that?
Because I have ink.
I just realized the components.
Lead-based ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, lead-based ink.
I buy ink as much as I can, but
I would
it's
actually,
expensive.
I would actually ask him, because he specifically said if you're trying to be discreet, I would ask him if they had it.
Okay. If you have a lead-based ink worth a ton of gold,
Yeah, I'd
Or,
even be willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
he contemplates it for a minute, and he's like, I have it. As it is right now, keeping your companions imprisoned here is already costing the keep a bit of money. So you need, what'd you say, 10 gold pieces worth of ink?
Yeah.
Perhaps you'll be doing something a little bit more than just working the wall then.
I don't mind paying for it if that's an issue.
Well, if you don't mind paying for it, that's fine. I wasn't about to reach into your sack and grab up some coin.
You can reach into my sack and grab some coin.
Anytime.
He only says it like that because you said it like that. He wouldn't actually say it like that. I couldn't resist.
His
You
sack is
settle that out before you-
willing and able.
We'll settle that out before you leave the keep. Very well then. Yep, you can have the inks. Do you need it for casting once or twice?
Twice.
And gives it to you. Okay.
I cast it and I make sure that this.
What do the two messages say?
So let's see. How does it say how long the message? No. So the first one would be to Nico, and it would say, Nico. I would explain where I am. I would say, Nico, I'm at the keep. We were looking into the mysterious reason for them to still be here. We were told without orders, they wouldn't allow us to investigate further. We believe there might be a changeling amongst them. Or I'll say Kieran believes there might be a changeling amongst them, specifically. If you are so inclined, please help. Help would be written a bit darker just because I struggled to write it. And then the next message would be much more straight. I would say all the same points, and I would say after our last success with dealing with Dask, we've come to this. We've come to this conclusion that this might be accurate, and we need orders to look into it. We don't want House Beneath to be. I'm trying to think of the right word. I guess puppets. We don't want House Beneath to be puppets in some larger scheme.
Okay, so you send those out, and then you're giving orders of things that you need to do to help
Earn my keep.
earn your keep in the keep.
Yeah.
So you do those tasks. One of the things that you notice is the same day that you send those messages out, a group of 10 soldiers with heavy mounts end up leaving the keep and riding out of there. 2 days later, another group, this time of 13 soldiers on heavy mounts, also leave the keep.
None of them come back?
On the fourth day, when you are waiting to see the pigeons coming in, you could see down the mountainside that the ones that had left beforehand, the original group, they're starting to come back up the mountain or whatever. Like you can see them off in the distance, making their way back up. As you're you get word you're Luka, right?
I'll nod.
I'm told you got a message waiting for you with the pigeons, and so you head back there and you get the pigeons.
Yep.
The first one to come back came from Nico. And it just says, let Kieran know that it's very unlikely there's any changelings there, but I don't care if she checks things out.
Okay. That's all it says? Okay.
And a message from the other people doesn't come back for 2 more days. The people that came back from the ride, from the riding on the horses, 10 didn't come back, 8 did, and they seemed a bit battered. Clearly had engaged in some sort of combat. They brought back one corpse with them, slumped over a horse, and the 10th body, it just isn't there. But they clearly had engaged in some sort of combat. The only ones that didn't seem to really be messed up at all were the ones that are clearly the archers of the group. But they made their way back to the keep. 9 horses, 8 living people, and they kind of like go in and get their care for them or whatever.
I would inquire if any of them like were on their way in back about what had happened.
Nobody responds with any information that's worth noting. Just got orders, took care of them.
Luka, if you come back and talk about that, Starball will be like, hey, I'm a professionally trained, investigator. I deal with bodies. If they need to know what happened, I can work for them and figure it out.
Yeah, well, every night I probably would have been back
updating,
with
right?
you
That's
guys.
why I was thinking that we can actually,
Yeah.
I can actually say it. Because he's like, if they this place doesn't look like it has a morgue with a trained investigator in it, so
They don't seem too. They don't seem too happy that we're here, and specifically you. They seem
no
a bit
one's ever
uneasy
happy
about.
I'm here.
Right. But he did say he wanted me to earn our keep, so I can offer it. I can't say that it's likely they will accept it, but
That's why I'm saying it, Luka.
I know. I'm letting you know that they were dressed for battle, so it seems like they might know what has happened to their. But I will ask.
You go and try
And
to
I
get
would
word
go-
with
yeah.
Roland.
Yes, Roland.
So you meet Roland and you inform him, oh, my friend, he's good at this stuff or whatever it is. And he's like, I know what happened to him. He fought hard. He fought bravely. But he was not prepared for what he was up against. Nonetheless, they were very successful in what it was that they were sent out to take care of. So,
I would ask. I'll kind of ask in a way where I don't want to ask directly. So I would say something like, "Yeah, I would say, yeah. What they were up against seemed pretty harsh."
it most certainly can be. Numbers can sometimes work in your favor or against, as can landscape and every other detail on a battlefield. But
I'll nod to that.
either way, the problem has been resolved.
Okay. He seems very close-lipped about it, as everyone has so far, so I won't press further. I would ask, because they would have given me my stuff back if I'm bearing the wall, right? Like, would I have noticed their stuff? Would they have gotten it back? Like,
It was all. So one of the things that you noticed, the reason why they had you locked away for an hour before they took your things off of you, is all of your things are locked in a different part of the castle. So you guys are underneath the keep, but like it's an exterior entrance. You have to go into the keep itself and into a separate room that has all of their things locked inside separate compartments.
okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't try to go sneak and break into that. So I just wait to hear back from my house and continue my work.
Yep. They sent back saying that more or less because you sent the message of these concerns and everything. They sent back saying, apologize for the delay, Luka. Initially, we wanted to just immediately give you permission to investigate. There's no harm in searching. However, in double checking to make sure that things are okay, it seems as though permissions to do anything in that keep requires a little bit more jurisdiction. Sorry, not jurisdiction. A little bit more authority that works over that jurisdiction. My suggestions are that you send a message to this person at this address. And so it has written at the bottom there, somebody by the name of Woltram Crawl.
Woltram Crawl.
Yep, 2 words. Woltram Crawl underneath, of course.
Right.
And send word to Woltram Crawl underneath. He seems to be the one that has the authority over that keep.
Huh. I would want to go talk to my comrades about that. Given the next option, before I write a letter or go talk to anyone in charge, I'd go talk to them about it and see what they think.
Okay.
If they've even heard of him, maybe Kieran has. Maybe Reich.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So I'd go down and I literally would tell you what my house said, word for word.
Kieran will roll her eyes and say something about bureaucratic bullshit, slowing things down.
Yeah.
They've been there
Reich
for 6
seems
days.
to.
No, 8 days, including the 2 days you were down there with them. They've been there for 8 days.
Yeah.
This is terrible. This is awful.
This is unsurprising. I would send the letter.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm asking. I'm willing to send the letter to resolve all this.
Why are you here? Send the letter already.
I'll literally bust out a
Because-
pen and paper and start
because
writing it.
The letter this time will probably take like another 8 or 9 days to come back. That's probably why he went to
Yeah,
ask you guys
Stalborn
first.
knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, for
So
a man,
I write the letter.
You know, for a man who lives 10 lifetimes, you are incessantly impatient.
Because I don't have my book, right? I don't have my book.
I don't have any books either. I have a cheeky smile on my face when I say that.
I told
I
told
too
you
sit
I
in
wasn't.
meditation.
I'm not going to die in a prison cell. He just goes back to meditating. Annoyed.
I
And
reassure him
he
again.
gets
You won't
more
die.
and more
Stop.
disorient, like red in the face, like more blackened marks every day. He's deteriorating.
Could we get his book back? I mean, we're
It doesn't
clearly not
seem
going to do anything.
likely.
I can cast magic like without any of this
That's a
stuff.
great plan.
Don't do
I'm so
that.
glad that we did this.
She can't though. She needs her arcane focus item. Exactly.
No, I don't. I'll take out the water cup I currently have on me, like, and I just to make a point will cast ice knife, which is my most like deadly spell right now, against like a wall, which just shatters like into a bunch of like shit ton of damage.
That one doesn't
Like, be like,
require
see?
the
Look,
component.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Why?
I know the component is literally just a cup like water, a
Yep.
drop of water.
Nice.
Like,
Why
just
would
like to
you
make a
show them
point.
that you're still dangerous? That's not what you do to get your spellbook back.
They start feeding her only
Holy
cranberry.
shit! Why are you so dumb?
She gets only cranberry juice afterwards. Like,
I
ha!
Oh, they
can
have
make
cranberries?
yeah, but I can make water.
Oh, that's
I have
true.
created a short water. I can make the spell component.
You actually have a mark to create like 30 gallons of water.
Yeah.
I just
Um,
meant to-
So yeah, I will send the letter off to them. Same deal. I'll let them know that I've gone through the channels that I deemed appropriate, and they referred me to him, and that I wanted to look further into it. I wouldn't say to look for changelings. I would just say to investigate reasoning, and I would once again say I don't want House Beneath to be puppets in a larger scheme.
Oh, I will say, like, in response to like Nico's like letters, like, he's probably right then. We've been looking into this together for a while now.
I'll nod.
There probably aren't any here physically.
So,
Wait, so then should I even write this letter? Could the person I'm writing the letter to be...
He might be, but then we'll find out information either way. Like, if he says no, then he's automatically suspect, and we'll go pay him a visit.
All right, that's
Um,
fair. I will write this letter, and we'll deal with... Well, they will deal with horse shit for the next 9 days, and I'll just deal with being what I don't want to be, a productive member of House Beneath.
you send the letter out, and about 2 more days later, that group that went out, the 13 people that went out,
Yep.
all 13 of them come back in varying conditions. All 13 of them alive, come back in varying conditions. Not all 13 horses come back. Only
Okay.
about 5 of the horses come back. Most of the other ones are walking, which is why it took so long for them to arrive. But they show up there. They clearly like bathed and ate and then re-armored, and then a group of 30 soldiers, which is a good portion of them, all get on mounts and leave the keep together.
Is there no chatter amongst... Like, I'm working the wall with people. Are they, like, tight-lipped about it, or are they even, like,
Very tight.
completely?
Very tight.
I would probably go to the
they're
guy
not just
then.
tight-lipped about this. They're tight-lipped about just around you, because you're not one of them.
Right. specifically. I would go to the guy in charge again and say, look, I'm not an idiot. I can see you guys are out there fighting something. Whether you're being successful or not, that's not for me to say. But me and my friends, while we're here earning our keep, we might be more useful out there.
You're not prepared for what we're fighting out there.
And what would that be?
I'm telling you, Luka, you're not prepared for it.
I let out a sigh. Are you sure about that? I give him like one more chance to.
This isn't my first day, Luka. This isn't my first year. This
We'll
isn't my
we'll
first
know that I'm
decade.
offering. We'll know that I'm offering. If it comes down to you needing, I'm sure we will.
He nods. So when the letter does finally come back 9 days later, it's been fucking ages.
Jeez.
Your poor friends have been locked in a cell for 17 days, eating slop that tastes the same every day. Oh god, it's awful.
No, I would give them my dinner meals. I would split it between them, and like I had been.
So when they give you a meal, you then excuse yourself from like the eating area and bring it downstairs and give them your scraps.
Not even my scraps. I would probably like save like a whole half of my meal and just give it to a different one every night. That if they accept it. Kieran obviously hasn't, so she wouldn't. Maybe after day 18 she would, but if Reich does.
No, I would not. I would not accept it the whole time. I just consistently say I've eaten worse.
Would Stalwart accept it? I try it once.
Not talking to anyone anymore.
They say no.
Their words are saying no, but their eyes are saying traitor.
I'm like trying to give them the food.
At the end of the 9 days, the letter comes back, and we will talk about it when we come back from this break. So,
Nice.
see y'all in a couple of minutes. 5-6 minutes.
It's getting exciting.
There's a face melting.
Bureaucracy.